Here are the 8 things that you need to do to start your cleaning business right. There's a lot of noise out there about how to start a business, what you need to do in what order, and what we're going to do is walk you through the steps in order of what I would recommend if I had to start over and starting my business today. So with that, let's jump right in. And the first step is we need to get legal. Now, this is the part we don't want to mess up because a lot is riding on us doing this correctly. With the first part of getting legal, we need to first be sure that our business name is available. And how to do that is you can go to your state's Secretary of State website and look up all the business names that are out there. You can type in any of your options that you have in your mind of what you want to name your company and see if anybody in your state has a name that's somewhat similar. Now, if you're in an area where you might operate in multiple states, you'd want to be sure to check those state websites, their Secretary of State website, in order to make sure that your name is available there as well. But what you can also do, if you're planning on really growing very fast into multiple states, go ahead and check the United States Patent and Trademark Office. You can just Google it, go search it as well for free online, just like you can do with your state's Secretary of State website. That way you can be sure that your business name is completely available no matter where you go. Now, the second part of making sure that our name is available after we've checked our state or multiple states or even the entire United States or whatever country we're in, we want to be sure that our name is also available online. You can go to a service like GoDaddy or Hover, type in your business name and add .com to the end of it and see if that's available or if a different designation is available. A different designation might be .co or .net. So let's take the example of if your cleaning business name is Clean Smart. You could go to Hover and say cleansmart.com. And if cleansmart.com comes up as not available, you can add something to it, like your city or your town. You can add a hyphen to it or anything else to make it a little bit more unique. And you can adjust your business name if you need to at this point in order to make sure that it's available online. This is going to be very, very important because we don't want to get down to the part where we're putting together our marketing materials and our domain is not available. Once you've got a business name picked out for your cleaning business, what you want to do then is go ahead and make it completely legal by filing for an entity. An entity is an LLC or a corporation or a general partnership. Most small business owners opt for an LLC. I am personally not a lawyer or an accountant, so I can't personally advise you on the best option, but most small business owners that I see opt to go the LLC route. Now, you can do this for free directly through your Secretary of State site. Now, there is a filing fee, so when I say it's for free, it means you're not paying somebody else to do it. You can do it yourself, but every state has a different filing fee. Some states, it's just $100. Some states, it might be as much as $500 to file for whatever entity type that you want to set up. But if you want to get this done even faster, you can use an online service like Zen Business or LegalZoom, and I'll link them down in the description below. And there's plenty of other online filing services that can do this for you. Just be expecting that they're going to have a service fee, and then you're also going to have to pay the state filing fee. So instead of it being, say, $100 to $500, you might end up spending, say, $200 to $800 to get your work done. Now, a couple quick tips when it comes to using these online services to set up your entity, whichever one you choose. They are going to try to upsell you all kinds of extra services. They're going to try to get you a bank account. They're going to try to get you credit cards. They're going to try to become what's called your registered agent. The registered agent is the person that receives all the mail related to the entity that you set up, and technically your business. What I did for all of my entities and what I still do today is I have myself listed as a registered agent. That way, if I have any questions, I can take those documents to a lawyer or a CPA and get those questions answered. The next thing to be aware of when using these online services is sometimes they do automatically sign you up for them to be your registered agent. What you can do is just contact them and ask them to cancel that service and make you the registered agent. I know that Zen Business did this to me in the past, which it wasn't a big deal. It was about $150 a year for that service, but I didn't want to just keep paying that because I wanted all the mail myself. So be sure that you're completely aware of everything you're paying for whenever you're checking out with these services. The next thing to be aware of when setting up your business entity is you're going to have 2 different business names potentially. One of them is going to be your legal business name, which if it's an LLC, it'll say company name, comma, LLC or L.L.C. It's going to require you to have LLC somewhere in the name. Corporations are a little bit different. They might have Inc. in there or corporation at the end of it. That's your legal name. But then your DBA can be what you actually picked, what you were researching in order to find available for your company to use as an operating business name. So for example, you could name your company Smith LLC, but then your cleaning company's DBA name, which is doing business as name, could be Cleaning Smart, and that would be it. So you want to be sure that you pick an available legal name, but then you also pick an available doing business as name. So now your entity is set up, whether you did an LLC or you did a corporation, it's time to get your business's social security number. This is also called an EIN number, which stands for Employer Identification Number. It can also be called an FEIN, the F just stands for federal, or a TIN, which stands for Tax Identification Number. All that you need to do is, I'm going to put the link in the description here for the direct website that the IRS has set up to get your EIN for free. You don't need to pay any of those online services to do this. You don't need to pay anybody else hundreds of dollars to do this. You can get this done completely for free in a matter of minutes directly on the IRS's website. All that you do is put in the same information that you used to set up your entity. So that would be the address, you as a registered agent if you went that route. If you used a different registered agent, you need to put them in there instead. Also, what name did you use for your entity? And then what DBA did you use for your entity? You put all this information into the IRS website. And at the very end of it, you can actually request to get a digital confirmation of your EIN number, and it will give you a PDF that you can save to your computer immediately. So again, to make that easy for you, I put the link in the description. Now, it's very important before we go to these next steps to know that if you did pick a business name that is not valid and you get your paperwork back from the state, or you get it back through the service that you used and they say this name was not valid, then you got to go back through those steps, resubmit a different business name that might be available. But again, if you did your research correctly, you shouldn't have to worry about that. But you would have to get your EIN again. And these steps that are about to happen, if we can avoid doing them multiple times, let's do that. Let's only do these following steps one time. So be sure to pick your name very carefully. Let's jump into the next ones. This next step is you need to get your business license set up and register your DBA. What that looks like is you got to go to the courthouse, whether it's in your county or your city or even both. You may have to pay for a business license. It might be $50, $20, or $100, depending on your county and your city. So be sure to check with both municipalities that you live in about what you need to do once you've set up a business. After you've gotten your local business licenses set up, you need to reach out to your state's Secretary of State and find out if they have any unique state IDs that they've given your business, and find out if there's any unique tax registration you need to do. Some states actually require income tax to be collected on services. You don't want to mess this one up. You don't want to get in trouble with the state. So be sure to call your state's Secretary of Service and find out what ID your entity is now once it's set up, and what taxes you need to get registered for based on cleaning services. And finally, we only have two more short steps here before we close out all this legal stuff. We need to get our EFTPS number. EFTPS stands for Electronic Federal Tax Payment System. So why is this important? This is the number that's going to be used as the unique identifier for your business to hold taxes on employee wages, on yourself, and on any other federal taxes that need to be paid, like Social Security, Medicare, federal unemployment insurance. All those different things are going to be handled through your EFTPS number. So once you've gotten the previous steps set up, be sure to go ahead and get that EFTPS number, even if you don't have any employees yet. And finally, to end it all, we need to get our DUNS number. What this is it's our ID within the Data Universal Numbering System. This is done through Dun & Bradstreet. This number can be required for you to get business credit, to get certain government contracts, and even non-government contracts. It's also required sometimes for business verification purposes. For example, if you set up a Google Ads account, it's going to ask you for your DUNS number. There are other ways to get your business verified, but it is much easier if you go ahead and have a DUNS number set up and ready that lets everybody know that your business is legitimate. Wow, okay, we got all that legal stuff out of the way. What we need to do next is we can now set up our banking, because we gotta start tracking expenses. And I'll point that out that if you spent money on a service and even the Secretary of State fees for filing, if there's any other expenses you've had so far in setting up your business, track those. hold on to those receipts because we're going to need to put them somewhere for our accounting purposes so we don't get taxed, right? We can get all these write-offs. That's the benefit of owning a business. But what we can do now is start that bank account so that we can track all these expenses as we go forward. Now, here's some tips whenever it comes to picking a bank. You can either use a bank that you currently personally have an account at, or you can use this opportunity to go ahead and start a relationship with a potentially really good commercial cleaning customer. Pick a local credit union or pick a bank that you would like to have as a customer one day and go ahead and set up your bank account there and start the relationship. What you're going to need to bring to them in order to set up your account is your entity formation documents. So at this point, you may have gotten them back from the Secretary of State, whether you set up an LLC or you set up a corporation. You've got articles of organization that have come to you, or articles of incorporation that have come to you. You got to bring those documents with the seal of your state on them. Or you have an online service that you used and you can just download them directly from the website. So bring those along with personal identification. Certain banks do this differently. Some want more personal identification than others. Be sure to call ahead of time. That way you don't waste a whole trip out there and get frustrated or waste your time or anybody's time. You also want to bring your local business license or any DBA registration documents that you have. Because here's what happens. They're going to set up the account in the name of your legal entity name. So again, Smith LLC, for example. If that's the name of your LLC, but you're doing business as CleanSmart, they're going to set it up as Smith LLC because they have the document for Smith LLC. But if you bring in the document with your business license that shows the DBA on it, or any other item that you had to use to set up your DBA, then they can add in the CleanSmart to that. So then you can receive checks for both your legal name and your doing business as name. If you do not do this and get your DBA registered with your bank, you will not be able to receive and deposit any checks written to your doing business as name. That would be a rough situation, and we want to avoid that and be sure we can collect all our money whenever we want. Now, once our banking is set up, we can start tracking expenses. I personally use QuickBooks Online to do this. I'm not a personal fan of the desktop software. Some people like to use Wave because it starts out for free. QuickBooks does have a low monthly cost and it's pretty robust. I'm not as familiar with Wave, but do the research and pick the one that works for you. What's important with these is that they actually connect to your bank account automatically, and that's completely secure and it's completely okay, because they can actually pull the transactions that are happening in your bank account, and all that you do is log straight into that software, and you can tell QuickBooks or Wave or whichever software that you're using, you can tell them that's what this was. This was supplies. This was marketing. This was some cleaning expenses. So we got legal, we got our bank account set up. Now the rubber is about to meet the road. What we want to do before we start getting any customers is make sure that we understand how to get our insurance when we need it. You don't need to pay for insurance right now and go out of pocket before you have any revenue or any money coming in. But what you do want to do is get quotes for two types of insurance. You want to get a quote for general liability insurance. The recommendation here is to get a $1 million per incident amount of insurance and then a $2 million aggregate. That's what you want to tell them is $1 million, $2 million. Get a quote for that. That's a good amount to start out with. It's usually not very expensive. When I first started my business, I think my quote was around $400 for the entire year. So it's not even monthly, that's the entire year. So that's what, $30-something a month. And then the next type of insurance you need to get is a workers' compensation quote. This is if somebody gets injured on the job in someone else's facility or a customer of yours, how are they gonna have their medical expenses covered? The workers' comp quote is gonna be directly correlated with the amount of payroll you have. So in a company that's paying out $100,000 per year to employees, their insurance is going to cost less than a company that's paying out $500,000 a year to employees. But what you want is a quote on how much would it cost at a $100,000 so that you know once you get to that point, you can anticipate what you'll be spending. And as a side note on that, they typically won't quote anything less than $100,000. Again, it's not extremely expensive to do something like this. I recommend going through Next Insurance at this current time. And if that ever changes, the link in the description will be updated and it will change with it. But currently, Next Insurance is who we use for our workers' compensation insurance and also liability insurance. Now we've done all this administrative stuff. We are ready to start doing what we need to do to get some customers. The first thing we need to set up is a business phone number that we can advertise. Now, you don't have to go out and buy an entire new phone number to do this. What you can do is get a Google Voice number, for example, that can be out there on the internet or on business cards, but whenever it's called, it goes straight to your personal phone. And you can see on your personal phone that it's a call to that number so that you can answer it like you're in your business office. A couple other services that can do this are Ring Central and Dialpad. Again, I'm gonna link everything in the description down below to make this process faster for you. The neat thing about Google Voice is that it's free and it's very easy to set up. With our phone number now set up, what we can do is get our marketing collateral. Marketing collateral just means our materials. So there's 4 things that we need to develop in order to have effective marketing. Do you absolutely need all of these? Probably not. But if you want to have a higher conversion rate on your conversations with potential customers and to look as professional as possible, I do recommend developing these 4 things. You don't need to spend an enormous amount of time on them off the bat, but get them good enough. I like to think of it as get a good version 1. Once you get version 1 and you get some customers and you get some money, you can upgrade to version 2. So here's the 4 things we need to get set up with our marketing collateral in order to start winning customers. The first one is a logo. Now, the logo can literally be just a symbol of something and then your company name. It doesn't need to be this elaborate piece of art that you paid thousands of dollars for. If you do want any help with your logo, you can use something like 99 Designs, where there's all kinds of people across the world that can bid on your project, and you can pick the person that you like at the lowest price. You've also got Fiverr. We personally use Fiverr for a lot of our marketing projects, and we didn't need to pay thousands of dollars, maybe just $100 sometimes, or even less, depending on the project. And then you also have Upwork, which is very similar to all of those, but it's another pool of talent that you can tap into and have bid on your project to design a logo for your business. But again, you don't need to get complicated with this. Just get something so that you can put it on material and people can recognize your company no matter where you're marketing at. The second piece of marketing material that you need to come up with is a slogan. So it's not an actual piece of material you give, but it's what's gonna be on the material with your phone number and your information. The slogan should have an appeal to your target customers that you're gonna try to win and earn their business. Examples of slogans in the larger corporate world might be, I'm loving it. We hear that, we think McDonald's. Another one might be Eat Fresh. What do we think of when we hear that? Subway. They have an appeal to them. Yours could be cleaning fast, cleaning cheap, cleaning, what do you want to put in there about cleaning? You can put in anything. It doesn't even need to say cleaning in it. It can say live free. However you want to advertise your service or create an appeal to your customer, put that as your slogan. And again, it can change later down the road, but it's gonna really help with your marketing to have a slogan of some type that's there on your material. The third piece is to get your business cards now. Because you have your phone number, you've got your logo, you've got a slogan, put your information on a business card. You don't need to get fancy. It can just be one-sided. If you do double-sided, try not to cram a ton of information on there. The appeal should just be that this is a person that I can trust and that I can call whenever I need cleaning services. And then the fourth and final essential marketing piece in order to have effective marketing is some sort of info sheet. It could be a tri-fold brochure, you know, the longer brochures where you can fold them out. It could just be a regular sheet of paper sized type of print. You can design whatever you want, but it just has an overview of your company. Maybe it shows how you support the services, and it has a list of the services that are a part of it and how they can expect to be taken care of as a customer of your cleaning company. It's worth mentioning here, again, you can actually give all of this information over to someone at 99 Designs, Fiverr, Upwork, or somewhere else, and they can take the words you want to say and design the info sheet. They can design the business card. Again, they can design your logo. It's up to you and your budget. Another way to get it done for very low cost is through Canva. You can create an account with them. You can sign up for their monthly membership if you want. It's up to you, but you can easily create all of these documents on your own if you really need to work on a tight budget. And then we need to get set up online after we set up our marketing materials. We're gonna use our logo on our website. We're gonna use the slogan that we made to get everything looking nice and crisp and ready to help convert interested prospects into leads and into paying customers. If you didn't purchase your domain name at the very beginning when we were doing all of our research about our business name, now is the time. We gotta actually buy the domain. As mentioned during our name search, you can use GoDaddy or Hover or another domain service. And don't be afraid, domains are very affordable. It might cost you about $20 to get one initially bought and set up, and then it's usually around $15 per year to keep it active and owned by you. And now what we can do with our purchased domain that we fully own with our business in it, we can go set up our email addresses. That way you can have your name at cleansmart.com, for example. I personally like to use Google for this. You can just go to Google Workspace and click sign up, and it'll walk you through the process of how to connect your domain to Gmail so that you can set your email up like that. Once our email is finished being set up, we can then set up our website. There's all kinds of platforms out there that can help you set up a website. I'm gonna link several of them in the description down below, but there's ones that are available for beginners. There's ones that are more advanced, and it's up to you to do the research and figure out which one you wanna use. But again, we'll link some down below that we like to use and that we've seen work really well. And now the final essential step to setting up our online presence is getting our business profiles set up and working for us and sending traffic to our website so that some of that traffic can turn into opportunities for us to win some more customers. So what profiles do we need to set up? We need to set up a Google Business profile and a Yelp profile. These two are the most common and tend to get the most general traffic from the internet. What do I mean by general traffic? Google has people going to it all the time saying, commercial cleaning service near me, cleaning service quotes for me and my business, industrial cleaning services near me. Whatever type of cleaning, they're gonna go to Google and ask for it if they want quotes. And Google will take your Google Business profile, knowing that you're a cleaning service, and present it to them and say, this business might be able to help solve your problem or might be able to give you the quote that you're looking for. That is how you get up there really quickly, is by having those profiles established. Of course, there's things that we can do to maintain those, but it's important to get it started because longevity is a big factor in determining trust on Google. So get those set up now so that you have the best chances of getting free online internet leads. All right, now we got all this marketing stuff set up and our online presence is ready to receive leads and to help people find us whenever they want to check us out. What we need to do now is find a supply source. We don't need to actually go out and buy the supplies yet. It's up to you if you want to do that and test some things out. But what we need to be able to do is when we get the opportunity, we need to be able to confidently tell them, yes, I am ready to serve you. And that's what we want to make sure we can do right here with this supply section. To help you out with this, we have actually created an essential equipment startup list on our website at commercialcleaningsceo.com so that you don't have to figure all this out on your own. But if you do, that's completely okay. What you can do is go to your local janitorial supplier and ask them, what do I need in order to start a cleaning service? You can just Google janitorial suppliers near me, find one that you like, visit around. You'll eventually develop a relationship with them, which actually can help you get some customers at some point. They're gonna want to serve you, they're gonna wanna supply you because it helps their business too and keep things local. So it's a really good way to find out exactly what you need. But again, we've got a list for you online. You can go to anywhere local. You can go to local stores if you already have experience with cleaning. You can do whatever you see is best in order to serve your clients and what you're comfortable with. The important thing to remember is you don't need to go spending $1,000, $2,000 to $5,000 on supplies right now. You can do that once you have a paying customer that's ready. Wow, we've done all of this setup and it's finally time to start getting paying customers and get our cleaning business off the ground and build the life that we want. So how do we go about getting those customers? Because we could spend so long talking about this massive subject, I'm going to give you one very fast way that you can start getting your business off the ground and finding more customers for yourself. But first, this whole channel is covered in content about how to find leads for your business and how to convert those leads into paying customers. But here's the nugget that I'll give you that you should do in order to start getting customers right away. All that you need to do is use this script with friends, family, past co-workers, anybody at your religious establishments, anybody, anywhere, and ask this question. Hey, I'm just starting my cleaning business. Do you know anyone at work or anywhere else who I might be able to help? You're taking that helpful approach. You're not taking a begging, give me approach. People don't like to have things extracted or taken from them. They like to help and to contribute to their friend or someone that they know. So give them that opportunity to help you by asking them, do they know anybody that you can help? And then they're going to want to help you help somebody else that they know. Again, there's tons of content on this channel about how you can win more and more customers and grow your business faster and faster. But use that line because it'll give you a really good position in the eyes of your friends and your family and in the eyes of those they refer to you. And that is how you can get your cleaning business off the ground, completely legal, ready to take on the world and the town and the city that you're in and build a life that you love. My name is Matt Pecorino. I build commercial cleaning companies and show you how to do it and how to grow yours. I make tons of free stuff to help you build your commercial cleaning company at commercialcleaningsceo.com. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check the video on how you can get more customers starting today.